You did get to use Ramage and Vermillion, a couple of guys you've had warming over the weekend. What did you think of their outings today?
I thought they were pretty good. I thought Cole, the first inning, he threw really well. And second inning, walked a hitter, I think. But, I just feel like that he had good stuff. Vermillion actually threw some good breaking pitches. Couldn't finish a couple of hitters off, but velocity was good. A couple of pitches were really close that he didn't get, but I like the way that both of those guys threw the ball. I thought Morris threw the ball decent as well. Tress threw the ball pretty good. McIntyre threw it well too, except he walked a couple of people, and that's what he got behind in the count after he had walked the hitter. I don't know, a couple batters before, and gave up a 2-run homer. Other than that, he had a pretty good outing.
I think it's like 13 2/3 or 13 1/3 scoreless innings now for Morris in his last 6 appearances. What do you think about how he's done in that stretch?
Well, he's throwing strikes. He's not. It's not like he's striking a lot of guys out. He's making them swing the bat, and he's had just like tonight. I mean, he got behind a couple times and he fought back and ended up getting outs. And I don't know. Just he's been consistent. We're just trying to continue to get him a little bit of work here and there, but still have him. Tonight we wanted to get him a little work, but have him available for the weekend. And he got his work in and didn't throw too many pitches. But it was I thought he had a pretty good outing through like 35 pitches, I think.
What was the message to the team after a game like this? And then also, how do you expect them to bounce back with a big series this weekend?
Well, you never know how you're going to play. You're coming off one emotional weekend. You're going into another big series. It's the last week of regular class. Just told them, what I saw. And, just that, we gotta learn from this one and move on.
I guess you said Auburn, and I think we're supposed to ask you about Auburn, right? Because you guys are leaving. Auburn, I think it's Auburn, LSU, and maybe A&M are all 2 games. They're all 12-9, so I guess 2 games behind you all. Pretty tight race, kind of. What do you think about the West right now?
Yeah, I think it's really even. I think a lot of the teams are very talented, and especially on the weekends, they've got teams that's I think that are very experienced. I think it'll probably go down to the last weekend, probably the last game.
And then Auburn they beat Tennessee, which is it's not been easy to do this year. They played them pretty tough. What's your take on Auburn?
Very offensive, really can hit. Added a couple of guys and into that lineup that was good last year, and I think have got a switch hitter and a left-handed hitter, but the rest of them are right-handed, but they can really hit, and they've been playing good. They're hard to beat. They're not scared. They're not intimidated. Like I said, they got older kids, and they it's going to be tough down there.
You said the other day, I think it was yesterday, that a team like Missouri State has 3 hours drive down here, focused on beating you guys. They're having a okay year, but obviously not the kind of year that they'd like to have. And I'm sure this was a really sweet win for them to beat you guys. What do you think of the way they played? And did they strike as a pretty hungry team?
I thought they played good. I mean, where they beat us at the plate. Offensively, they beat us. I guess you could say they outpitched us too. I mean, obviously you can't use everybody you have, but because you got to save them for the weekend. But their first couple of guys, gave them an opportunity to get the lead. I just, I mean, every time we play them, it's the same. It's usually a pretty good ball game. I don't know. I don't really want to comment on their team. I don't really know what to say to that.
Looking back to last year, it seemed like they were one of the more unlucky teams in the league last year, lost a lot of close games. Their series with Arkansas was really tight. And just this year, are you surprised to see them have the year they are? Or, were you kind of expecting them to have a little bit of a bounce back year? Or what are your thoughts on them from afar?
Well, I don't really know what they did last year. I mean, I couldn't tell you. I just focused on this year. So, as far as a bounce back, I thought they had a pretty good team last year. When we played them, it was a great series, and it was tight. It could have gone either way, like a lot of the series. So, there's really not much separation between one team and the other in our league. it doesn't surprise me a bit that they're having a really good year because they have a lot of experienced players.
It's not a huge sample size on the road, but you guys have played a lot better at home. And kind of, is there going to be any message to the team about needing to get a big road series win like this weekend?
I don't really talk about this being bigger than that. I don't feel like that I need to put that on them. They know that every game is big from here on in, especially where we sit. So, I don't feel like I have to give these guys any speeches. I think they get it. We've done pretty well here the last 4 or 5 years and have been in the race down the stretch. I think about 18 we had to fight to win the West. 19 the same way, and then even last year we were winning a lot, but there were some teams that were right there with us until the very end. So it's nothing new. So it's not like I really have to tell them how to think. They know what we're in for. They know that we're going to get everybody's best shot, and teams are trying to catch us, and it's their home series. So they don't play tonight. They don't play tomorrow. They may be taking finals, and they'll be ready for us.
Midweek games obviously have their place and purpose, but this was the last non-conference game. Now it's all SEC or NCAA from now on. Do you kind of like that?
I like it. I wouldn't mind having one more midweek game, but I do like the fact that where we sit, and maybe it'll get some of these guys, once they finish up school here next week, really just focused in. It's a different feeling once the guys are done with school. So, SEC games, and hopefully have a chance to continue to play, and hopefully we continue to. We got to keep getting better. That's what I tell them every week. We got to get better. We're a good team. We're not special. We got to get better.